With the NBA draft just around the corner, this will be the perfect time to give you my final big board update. For the last month or so, prospects have been in the process of interviewing, measuring, and working out for a lot of teams. With about 3 weeks to go into the NBA draft, this is my top 50 rankings of the 2020 class. Usually a consensus number 1 pick has the highest upside and limited weaknesses. That's not the case this year. LaMelo Ball is still my number 1 prospect. His size for the point guard position to go along with his vision and feel for the game are some of the reasons why I feel he could be the best. But like many NBA scouts, I'm not really confident he'll end up being the best. My 2 top prospects in this draft are point guards, but that doesn't necessarily mean they will be picked with the top 2 spots in the draft. The Warriors and the Timberwolves aren't looking for a franchise point guard with Steph Curry and D'Angelo Russell on the roster. That's why I believe there could be a lot of movement in the first round, especially involving the first 2 picks. But you have to remember, just because you want to trade a pick doesn't mean it will happen. I have Anthony Edwards at the 4th spot. I love his size and shot making ability, but his style of play leads to a lot of low percentage shots. And he's really not active playing off the ball as he needs to be. Edwards needs to be drafted to a great organization to help him break a lot of those bad habits and put him in the best position to reach his full potential. James Wiseman is a good prospect, but I just have a lot of questions about how much impact he will have in today's NBA. I believe if the talent is somewhat equal, I believe perimeter players have the best impact in today's NBA. The reason I favor Okongwu over Wiseman is because Okongwu possesses a relentless motor and is a versatile defender. I believe Okongwu will do whatever he can to be the best he can be. And also seeing how Bam Adebayo dominated the playoffs the way he did solidified my opinions of Okongwu being a top 3 prospect in this draft. Deni Avdija could have one of the most complete skill sets for a forward in this draft. He can handle the rock, is a good playmaker, can attack the rim, and he competes on the defensive end. But there's one thing he'll have to prove once he gets into the NBA, being a consistent outside shooter. That's a big concern, especially in today's game. If he had a consistent jumper going into the draft, he could be in the discussion for the number 1 pick. After Tyrell Terry measured in at 6'3", 174 pounds, he has worked his way all the way to the top 10. The concerns about his size are not prevalent as they were during the season when he was listed around 6'1", 160 pounds. Now you can buy him as a lottery pick with his ability to stretch the defense and run an offense. Despite the lack of production and competition throughout his career overseas, I believe Aleksej Pokovetsky has one of the highest upsides in the draft. Strength is an obvious weakness for a player who stands 7 feet tall and weighs 200 pounds. But his mobility, fluidity, ball handling, and shot making makes him an intriguing prospect. This could be a situation like the 2013 NBA draft, where the best player is drafted outside the top 10. Pokovetsky could be the Greek freak of this draft. Tyrese Maxey comes in at 13 on my big board. He never shied away from a challenge, especially playing against the best competition in college. His swagger and confidence is on the same level as another Kentucky guard by the name of Tyler Terry. Even though he shot a low percentage from three-point land, I'm still high on him as a shot creator who can score from many different areas on the court. Coming off the bench and giving instant offense will be his best role in my opinion, like Lou Williams. Aaron Nesmith only played 14 games in his sophomore year, but he proved enough to the NBA scouts that he's a knockdown shooter by shooting a ridiculous 52% from 3. Add his 6'6" height, and you have an instant contributor on the next level. Nesmith is not much of a shot creator off the dribble, and he will never be mistaken for a playmaker, but elite shooting will get him some valuable playing time in the NBA. Malachi Flynn finds himself on my big board at number 20. He is not a secret anymore. He should be selected in the first round. His shot making and his ability to play the pick and roll is enough to ignore his height at 6'1". You can argue that his pick and roll play is one of the best in the draft. He's a plus defender who loves to play the passing lanes. Malachi looks like a complete point guard in my opinion, and he could be headed to a playoff team if he's drafted in the 20s. Argentinian guard Leandro Barmero comes in at number 24. His game kind of reminds me of another guard from Argentina, Manu Ginobili. Crafty, tough-minded, and a gifted playmaker. The one thing that Ginobili could do that Barmero struggles at right now is outside shooting, particularly from three-point range. Barmero has nice size at 6'7" and plays with constant energy and aggression. He became just the 5th player in the Spanish ACB League to record 10 assists in a game at 20 years old or younger. Some of the other players to do it, Ricky Rubio and Luka Doncic. Another pick and roll maestro is Charleston guard Grant Riller. He's more of a gifted scorer than a passer, but he can run an offense. Riller is a wizard with the ball in his hands. His amazing footwork and tight handles allows him to consistently create space between him and the defender. He's not a very athletic guy, but he still can finish below the rim with the best of them. Desmond Bane is another sniper from long distance. He can fit with nearly any team in the league. Despite not being ultra quick or athletic, he has the handles and feel for the game to make up for that. And it certainly doesn't hurt if you can bury the long 3 ball with consistency. He has improved as a playmaker and is a smart defender. I have Desmond Bane ranked 28th on my list. The most athletic player in this draft is probably Cassius Stanley. A couple of days ago, he registered a 44-inch max vertical at the NBA Combine, which is the 3rd highest in the Draft Express database. If you only watch his highlights, you will get the impression that he's only a dunker, but he's more than just a dunker. He was a solid shooter from 3 as he shot 36%. He gives 100% effort and energy, and he has the potential to be a good defender. Being consistent as a jump shooter will open up his opportunities to attack the basket, which he loves to do.